I was familiar with the Macmillan service because my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer in July. I just happened to be in the hub visiting the library and noticed the facility and came over and struck up a lovely relationship with Angela. We had come across Macmillan, but in the instances where we'd come across Macmillan, it was within a hospital setting, and those hospitals tended to be quite far away from where we lived. So when we was visiting those hospitals, we tended to have different priorities.
I think sometimes as a general practitioner, you speak to your patients, they take away a small percentage of what you actually say to them. And this is somewhere where they can come. It's in the middle of the community, which is so accessible.
I think it's a fantastic new service for Warrington. Cancer remains the biggest cause of early mortality for Warrington, so it's the biggest contributing factor to early death. And so it is really important that we get signs and symptoms over to people early on as possible, that we have information available to people, that we can support people who have cancer.
Macmillan is funding this information and support service through to the Warrington CCG, who are then outsourcing it to the Hospice, who's supporting the information manager, Angela, and to the welfare rights people, CAB, this is supporting Gareth from the benefits advice. And the whole service is actually positioned within LiveWire.
When people come to the service, if I see them having a look at the stand, I'll maybe ask them, is there anything you need? Are you okay? Do you need help? If they're really distressed, then I'll bring them round to the sitting area and offer them some privacy and have a chat with them. I got involved as a volunteer because I had a cancer diagnosis myself in 2011, and I had support from a local support group within the Warrington area. And for me, this is about giving something back and having empathy with the people who are affected by cancer.
A cancer journey can be a very isolating experience. Relationships break down, friendships become almost forgotten. And you're in the middle of this horrific journey, and a lot of people do feel very, very lonely. And at times, the loneliness is probably worse than the diagnosis itself, because not only are you trying to get through your own personal battle, you've also got nobody to talk to. They come to you at the most vulnerable time in their lives, and they just really open up, and it's nice to know that they feel they can really trust you straight away to help them through, to see another side of life.
As a nurse, it's really important for me that actually people get good information at the time they need it. For us as a hospice, and for me personally as a nurse, this is part of the vision that actually enables people to get that information in a timely way that will allow people to make informed choice and decisions and to be a much better part of their care.
It's an amazing partnership for us, because working with St Rocco's, Macmillan and CAB, I think we're able to deal with perhaps in one place, one-stop shop, many of the issues that people face when they find they have a life-limiting illness.
I think having a cancer diagnosis itself is terrifying, but then to think that you might not be able to provide for your family, what are you going to do about your job? How am I going to survive? I've got to get to hospital, I've got to eat, and they're telling me to do all these healthy things.
Patients often tell us it's not their illness that's keeping them awake at night, it's their finances and how the family are going to manage afterwards.
Typically, financial issues are something that people might not think about immediately, but which can become very stressful for them. So we assist with helping people to budget, helping them apply for grants to access travel costs, applying for disability and sickness benefits, helping them to negotiate with their mortgage lenders if they need to alter their payment plans. There's a really wide range of advice that we're able to give and help people with.
I think that we're all touched by cancer in aspects of our life, whether that's through a loved one, a friend, and coming to this centre here, you can just access that information. So if you walk around it, you can see that there are leaflets. So somebody could just pick up a leaflet and take that away and read that in the comfort of their own home. Or somebody that they know that is going through a difficult time, they might pick up a leaflet for them. So it's accessing that information in many different ways. You might not actually have cancer yourself, but that information is there for you to access for other people. I think that's the important aspect of it. It's a support mechanism for everybody in the community, not just those that are unfortunately have cancer at that moment in time.
I think had I have not accessed the service here when I did, personally I suspect I would have continued to have felt slightly isolated. I would have continued to have the conversations I was having with medical professionals and maybe not feeling as if we were heading in the right direction. I also don't feel that my parents would have got access to the necessary benefits that was available to them. They're also entitled to a disability badge for the car, which is going to be great when that happens. I personally wouldn't have had the emotional support that I've had from Angela.
I'm doing a job that I feel really passionate about, and I want to make others feel secure when they come to our service and know that they'll get the help all the way through.